told you. I tell you, year after year, E3 only starts when Microsoft goes. Okay, in yesteryears, it would be Microsoft on Sunday, Sony on Monday, Nintendo on Tuesday. Right. So no offense, no shade thrown to everybody who goes on Saturday.
EA.
Usually EA.
Come on now.
EA.
Come on now.
But
well, now you're throwing shade at Devolver Digital. Now you're throwing shade at Jeff Keighley, right? Now you're throwing shade at.
Well, no, Jeff Keighley. Yeah. Jeff Keighley was. He's not. He said it. He's not at E3. He's doing his own thing. And he was Thursday. By the way,
that happens to coincide with the start of E3. So he's at E3. You can't.
No. He said. He can't be. He's not at E3. He left E3. He's doing his own thing.
You can't have an event
Wednesday.
No, you can't have an event. You can't have an event while the event that you're saying that you're not at is happening.
It didn't happen yet. It didn't happen yet.
It's all digital, Dan. This is all E3.
It started Saturday with Ubisoft. So all the shade to Ubisoft in their boring press conference. And if you want to hear more about that, go back and listen to episode 274.
Yeah.
We did yesterday. Yes.
Woo.
It was a snooze fest. So E3 starts today, baby. We just finished watching the Xbox and Square Enix press conferences, and boy, I'm ready to talk about it. Our E3 coverage starts today, but this is episode sort of. So
it's the second. It's our second episode of E3 coverage, but Dan is just eschewing all of that first episode. He's like, nah, this is the meat and potatoes.
This is episode.
Everything else was a salad
of E3.
Everything else was a salad.
1.5.
Okay, listen. Game devs who have toiled, right, and put their blood, sweat, and tears into these games that you love and you're putting out there for the world. I hear you and I appreciate you. All right, one half of Rated G is on your side.
I appreciate you too when you're at the Sony press conference.
Which who knows when that's gonna happen?
Who knows when that's gonna happen?
They haven't said anything. They could drop it tomorrow for all we know.
All right, so this is all about Xbox and Square Enix. Let's kick it off. Let's talk about the Xbox / Bethesda showcase, and they didn't waste any time. We saw Starfield.
Hell yeah, they kicked it off. They kicked it off with the Bethesda acquisition, Starfield. Oh,
and it's and they wasted no time telling us this is an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
So this is not coming to PlayStation.
Of course.
Definitely. It was never coming. I don't think even if it was coming to PlayStation, but it came to the Switch.
No.
It's not going to Stadia. It's not going to Luna.
No.
It's exclusive to a console exclusive to Xbox and PC. And we got a release date, November 11th, 2022.
Yep.
Jason Schreier was right. He was right about a lot of things. He did say this was coming in holiday of 2022. It looked super. I want to say super cool because we use that. I think we use that term.
We use that for everything.
Super cool and interesting, I think, is the terms we used on the show yesterday, right? So I don't want to say super cool and interesting. I want to say it was unique, right? Because it was sort of. I personally think this is going to be Elder Scrolls in space. We still have a lot more questions than we have answers, but it looked like old school space, right? Like it doesn't look like you're a high tech Power Ranger in space or anything.
Yeah, it had a
analog
vintage
space
aesthetic to it. Yeah. Kind of like how Alien Isolation was with their 1970s aesthetic. Yeah. So I'm kind of hype. I want to know what the gameplay is like. I want to know what you can do, right? Is it more like No Man's Sky? Is it more like Elite Dangerous? Is it like, who knows?
Well,
is it like Star Wars?
Todd Howard did say they invented a new universe, right? Or a new universe, a new world, like they did the Elder Scrolls. So that's why I'm saying this is the Elder Scrolls in space. You never know. You might see a dragon just floating around in space, but
rocking a space helmet.
Yeah.
How does it breathe fire though?
Who knows? Maybe
that would be so funny if you get to fight a space dragon.
Maybe it's not breathing fire; it's breathing ice.
Right. Yeah. So that's that was a big way to kick off.
I'm excited about the possibilities, but I have more questions than answers because we still don't know anything, right?
No. Which I think maybe at the Game Awards, probably E3 2022, we'll get like a gameplay reveal, and they'll kind of have all the info for you. But yeah, I'm
gonna say not the Game Awards. I definitely think E3 2022. We're gonna get the everything, bells and whistles.
Probably, yeah.
I'm super excited. I'm excited about the possibilities, I should say.
But that's a way to like kick off the it's a way to kick off. It's a good way, I think, to kick off the presentation. All right, here's our new acquisition. Here's what we're working on, and it's only on Xbox. It's like, okay,
they made it very abundantly clear, Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Then next off, they did Stalker 2, Chernobyl. Right, that's also coming out in 2022. Yeah. You're gonna see a theme, by the way, of 2022.
There's a lot of 2022
stuff.
It's
gonna be a big year for Microsoft. But it was cool. Like this. I never played the original Stalker game, but this looked okay. I mean, Chernobyl is a place where if you're gonna have a video game setting, that makes sense, right? Mutated. Everything's mutated from the radiation.
Oh yeah, out in like the Russian wastes. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. I think the original.
That's sort of like the Metro series, right? Like
similar in a way. Yeah. I think the original Stalker was PC only. I don't know if it ever made it to console. Because it was
I've seen gameplay of the original Stalker, but I guess you were right.
Yeah, because I think it was like 2005, 2006 maybe it came out, and it was a big deal when it came out because they had like the huge landscape, and it was kind of a unique setting to it, and it was really like graphical, really like hardware pushing for that game. So I kind of can't believe there's a Stalker 2 coming out since it's been like almost 15 years since we had the original Stalker.
Then we got a gameplay trailer, release date, and coming to Games Pass day one, Back 4 Blood, coming out October 12th.
That's another... Game Pass is another theme that carries throughout most of these games.
Yeah. Game Pass is going to get 1 trillion games. Trillion
yeah, man. They just keep adding to the value.
Well, there was another 11 Bethesda games coming to Games Pass. Doom Eternal was one of them. Yep. All the Fallout expansions and all that, like all that was coming to the Game Pass. So I listen. It makes sense if Microsoft owns Bethesda that their first all those old school games like Doom, the original Doom, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, all those games come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to. I mean, we didn't talk about it during the show because it just makes sense that they were going to bolster it during E3 time, right? To say, hey, we got all these games coming to Game Pass. So, it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And Phil Spencer did say every month there would be more and more games to come. So,
yeah,
they're making a concerted effort to make it a thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of Games Pass, a game that I own that you don't own, but because you have Games Pass, we can play together. We can, matey, we could go to Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life. Captain Jack Sparrow is coming to Sea of Thieves. And the Pirates of the Caribbean theme is coming June 22nd.
I'm gonna have to stop you because if you just said, "Hey, Sea of Thieves," I would have been like, But A Pirate's Life with Captain Jack Sparrow, it's got the Disney crossover and all that. I'm in.
It sounded just like Johnny Depp, but it.
Oh my God, it did. I was like, did they get Johnny Depp? It was really close.
That would have been. I mean, just. There's that term super cool, right? It's just like hidden gems, right?
I know, exactly. Everything's a hidden gem.
Everything is super cool. It would have been super cool if they would have had like Johnny Depp come out like they had Keanu Reeves come out. Like,
oh my God. Right? Yeah. I know. Yeah, I feel like he would have done it. I mean, there may have been a lot of...
I feel like they would have boasted like Johnny Depp doing the voice, right?
Yeah,
If he really was.
They would have totally said, yeah.
Voiced by Johnny Depp, we would have got like a montage of that. So I definitely It sounded like him. It sounded close enough that I'm in.
And it's coming out in a few weeks, so we don't have to wait.
Speaking of Games Pass, another game that I own that you need to play, that if I would have played it when it first came out, I definitely would have nominated for Game. It would have been one of my nominees for Game of the Year. And that's Yakuza Like a Dragon, along with like every other Yakuza game. Yakuza 4, 5.
All on Games Pass, yeah.
Are all coming to Games Pass.
Yeah, man. They just kept coming. They just kept coming with the hits. They're like, if you don't have Game Pass, here's another game. Oh, yeah, still not it? Here's another game. Here's another game. They just kept with the hits.
To be fair, there was I didn't go through the list, but to be fair, there were I think IGN. I think it was IGN. I'm not sure which outlet did it, but there's a lot of games leaving Games Pass too. Nothing. It's just like Netflix. Nothing stays forever, right?
Well,
so there are a list of games that are leaving Games Pass at the end of the month or beginning of the next month. So just keep that in mind. Either adding games, but they never tell you. They never, they're never going to advertise what's leaving Game Pass.
Of course,
eventually, yeah. So, but Yakuza Like a Dragon, awesome game. Definitely didn't think I would like this game. I love this game. You need to play it now, especially now it's coming to Games Pass.
There you go.
So we talked about it on our E3 show 1, which was episode 274. Right. Battlefield 2042. We got the sort of teaser trailer. It was all in engine, but we got actual gameplay this time. And boy, boy, it looked super impressive.
Yeah,
but not impressive enough for me to jump in and play because it is only multiplayer.
So here's the question.
I need a single player story.
Here's the question. Yes, we all know you hate multiplayer. What would get you to play Battlefield 2042? And don't say single player.
I think Beyonce would need to DM me on Twitter and say, "Hey, she's getting a squad up. Her and Jay-Z and The Rock are getting a squad up, and they need a fourth man.
And only Dan Robinson can take up that fourth spot." Yeah, well, there you go. I don't think anybody would. I don't think anybody would say no to that. How could you say no?
I think that would be the only way I'll play.
I meant more gameplay mechanic, but okay. I guess I could take that as an answer.
Gameplay mechanic. Let me see.
What would get you in? What would be like? I need to play this.
I can't die.
Nobody can die.
No 13-year-old could snipe me from afar.
I see. I see. You're afraid of getting owned by. You're afraid of getting owned by little 12-year-old. I understand.
I'm afraid of getting owned by the little.
Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. You gotta be bigger than that. All right. You gotta take your lumps.
I need a story. I'm sorry. I need a story. I need friends who want to play. I don't have any friends that would be interested in playing this particular game.
Okay. Besides me.
You're one. We need 2 more.
All right. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. Anyway.
Speaking of numbers, well, Battlefield I don't even know if I mentioned it last episode, but Battlefield's coming out October 22nd this year. But we got a release date for a game that also was shown at last year's sort of sizzle reeled or kind of makeshift E3 event by Microsoft. 12 minutes. That's actually coming out sooner than expected, August 12th. So it's a summer release game. It was one of those games where you're stuck in a room and you have 12 minutes to sort of figure out what's going on, and you have like a 12-minute loop like Groundhog Day, right? And it's like your wife's pregnant, you're arrested for killing your father. It's so morbid. So many different scenarios that you have to figure out what's going on.
And the cops start banging on the door like pretty quick, and you're like, I thought. Well, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying we both were about this last year when we saw it when Microsoft unveiled it. So definitely. It's getting a release date of August. Like that's wow. I thought it would have been released a little bit sooner than that, but it's a summer game for us to play on.
Right. And we also got info that James McAvoy is voicing. It wasn't in the Xbox presentation, but there was a deep dive with the developers as part of the Summer Games Fest or whatever, and they had James McAvoy talking about the game a little bit, and he plays the male protagonist in the game. So that's super awesome. Like they got, big name star. They got young Magneto, right? Wasn't he Magneto? Or young Professor X?
No, Professor X. I was like, we got Professor X playing.
Young
this is awesome.
Professor X. So I mean, that's that gets me more hype for it.
All right, so that's what's coming to Xbox early August. But you know what's coming to Xbox late August. Finally got a release date. I thought it would be in September, so I was right there. I was almost right, and that is Psychonauts 2, August 25th.
Yep. And we got
this game on my PlayStation.
We got some gameplay for it. Yeah, it's funny. It's the last game for the PlayStation that's made by Double Fine because they got bought out by Microsoft, part of the big acquisition. Could be worth a little bit of money.
Well, I don't even say if it's worth a little bit of money. I just think when I think Psychonauts, right, like the original Psychonauts, people think that the original Psychonauts, they really closely relate it to PlayStation 2.
Well, it was also on Xbox. Yeah,
no, it was also on Xbox.
Well. Yeah.
Next, they showed Fallout 76. Well, they pretty much said they screwed up. It's now one of the best games on Games Pass, most downloadable games. People are playing it, and they unveiled 2 new expansions: Still Rain and The Pits, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I think you should jump into this. You got Games Pass. I downloaded it. I have it. I've played a little bit of it. I thought it was not super cool. It was okay.
I mean, I hear it's better now.
Why don't you jump in and we play together? Come on. You talk about, you want me to play a multiplayer game? You want me to play?
I want you to play a good multiplayer game, Dan. Not Fallout 76.
Come on, jump in and play Fallout. Come on, what would it take? Okay, what would it take for you to jump into Fallout 76 for us to play?
It would take me beating all the other games that I have in my backlog before I jump into Fallout 76. I mean, look, no.
Well, seriously, what if Beyonce calls you? What if Beyonce calls you?
I'll try it, but like the thing of it is, I'm already salty on it because they messed up every aspect of it, from all the pre-order special bonus stuff, from all the damn bugs that were in it at launch. It's just like
you can't. Okay, you have this theme of staying salty forever. You're salty with Battlefield 2, right?
Oh, Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
When they fix stuff, you gotta stop being salty and jump in. That's the whole point.
I can just play all the other games that have come out. I can play my Resident Evil, and I can play my.
You already beat it.
I like that game. It's a good game. I wanna give it a shine.
Listen.
I'm not hating on Bethesda at this point. It's all I know
is you can't hate on something when they fix the problem. When they fix the problem, now you got to jump in.
No, I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating on it, but I also don't have to jump into the game.
Ugh. All right. Well, you know what?
Listen, like I said, if you want to give it a go, I would be willing to play it, but I don't think it's going to grab me in a way that it's going to be my new game.
You know what it would really take for me to play Battlefield 2042 is if you played Fallout 76 with me.
I'll play like Fallout 76 any day, but again, I don't think it's going to grab me to where I'm going to keep playing it. But I will gladly play it with you. We can definitely try it out.
Something that didn't grab me during the Xbox Bethesda showcase was Party Animals, another game that's coming out in 2022. Animorphic. Well, animals.
Anamorphic? Or anthropomorphic is the word.
Anthropomorphic. Cartoony, super cute animal plushies fighting, battle royale type game. Definitely didn't capture me. I thought this was mostly, I was like, what is this made for kids? I didn't know what type of game. I didn't know what the point of this being on the showcase.
Well, it just has a cutesy aesthetic, but you're really trying to beat each other up. It's kind of like it's a little like Smash Brothers, but it's also like Humans Fall Flat or Gang Beasts. I
think it's more like Humans Fall Flat than Smash Brothers.
Well, I mean, it has that competitive nature to it, right? You're supposed to be beating each other up, but yeah, all the limbs go everywhere. I don't know. I thought it looked super cool. It'll have, I guess, 4-player multiplayer, local and online, which is kind of cool. And
what would it take for you to play Party Animal, for it to come to Games Pass?
I may actually buy the game if it's actually that good. Yeah. Wow. But I don't know if it's going to have a physical. That's the thing. It may not have a physical release.
This is a game that's definitely not going to have a physical, I don't think. But you know what game does have a physical and will have a physical for Xbox? Hades. Wow, Hades actually is it's coming at an Xbox.
Finally.
Physical edition.
Finally.
August 13th, the day after 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. The game of the year in some outlets last year, and
IGN
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So great that it's coming to Xbox.
You love your roguelikes. Mm-hmm. And I like the aesthetic. I like the charm. I like the fact that you keep powering up, and I like the weapons. I just don't like the fact. I don't like roguelike games. I just don't like the fact that everything changes.
You don't like the randomness, yeah.
I just don't like the randomness. But we didn't have to wait too long. I thought maybe, since we didn't hear it at the beginning, that we were here at the end. But we finally got Halo news towards the middle of the press conference.
Yeah, right smack in the middle, which nobody thought it was going to be. We both thought Halo was going to be in the beginning.
Yeah, Halo Infinite. We definitely got some campaign notes, but the biggest thing that they mentioned was the multiplayer will be a free-to-play multiplayer, and it can reach up to 120 frames per second.
Well, they mentioned the 120 before. I remember that, and I don't know if Microsoft directly mentioned it, but I know a lot of people were talking about the multiplayer being free. So
No. It was always a rumor that it could go multiplayer. It was never substantiated until now.
All right. So, yeah. But I'm not surprised. They want to. I mean, I can guarantee you, multiplayer is going to have microtransactions. It has to be able to fund itself to run, right? Because they got to run all the servers. Everyone's going to be playing multiplayer because it's free, which is great. But there is going to be like drop packs and whatever else. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but what about that campaign, Master Chief?
Mm-hmm. It looked good.
Floating in the space. Now we didn't get any actual gameplay.
It's true.
Which, to be fair, we don't know how it looks gameplay wise, and they took the approach of just sort of a cinematic trailer. But we know from Halo 5, Cortana has lost her marbles, and she's just
gone off
crazy.
The reservation. Yep.
And she was supposed to be captured and deleted, but Master Chief has no recollection of deleting her. And it's like, well, then what happened? There's something else to the story. And he says, well, let's find out. Right.
Yep. So he takes the other AI who was meant to, help kill Cortana, and she's still around. So I'm intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm intrigued where they're going to take this. Check the story.
Hopefully it's better than 5, because 5 is a trash story.
I didn't think 5 was a trash story. I just felt a little burnt that it was sort of touted as Master Chief versus Locke, and we had maybe 2 missions where they were going against each other, and then Locke joins Master Chief, and
Yeah, they're basically like hand in hand at the end of Alien versus Predator, running down the lane. Not about it.
Yeah. So, but wasn't enough. Weird that it was in the middle. It's weird that it was in the middle of the conference. That's all.
Yeah. I figured it'd be at the beginning, or possibly the end, but
I didn't think they would end with Halo. But I mean, the beginning. Come on, that's the number one question everybody asked.
Because everyone knew they were showing Halo stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the worst kept. I mean, come on, the worst kept secret. All of the E3 marketing had Master Chief on it, so of course they were going to show Master Chief.
Oh yeah.
Then we had A Plague's Tale Requiem, right? They showed that. That was super cool. It was a hidden gem by all accounts. I think Metal Jesus, RGT85 all talked about the original Plague's Tale. And I did buy it. It is on my list of games that I definitely, my backlog of games I want to play. And coming up, hopefully I'll play it before the end of the year. But the sequel is coming out next year, so that's pretty interesting. Now I definitely have to pop in the first game and see what everybody was talking about.
And it looks sufficiently next gen, if those are in-game graphics, which I think they are. Yeah. They didn't necessarily say, but I feel like it was in engine, and if so, it's gonna be a good next gen game. Now, I don't think this game is exclusive, and I also don't think it's on Games Pass, but it does look great, and we did see it on the Microsoft stage, so I got to give them props. Brand new game, right? There's a third-party studio, and sequel to the original game, which people seem to like. So, yeah.
Then we got extended gameplay trailer of Far Cry 6. You can control like a punk rooster to attack enemies, which I thought like that was when I saw that. I was in the middle. I was dying laughing on that one. That was like wow. I wonder if it could control any other animals, right?
Oh, maybe chickens, cows. You never know.
Just the rooster with the spiked necklace, like around the neck, like, and you could just have them attack people. That's funny.
Again,
this game, Far Cry 6, coming out October 7th. So another October game.
Yeah, no, I did like the jetpack thing that she had. All right, she kind of leans down.
I forgot about that.
Sets off a bunch of like fireworks style missiles that kind of go like at the enemy. Super cool.
Then we got an update for Grounded. Right, and that expansion or new content's coming June 30th.
They got more spiders in the game.
Yeah, more. We got a release date for the Ascent,
Arachnid Queen.
Right? The Ascent, that they showed that off last year too, at sort of their E3 style presentation. That's coming out July 29th.
Yeah, that was the isometric third person futuristic shooter. I think all those words make sense. It was very red.
Another cyberpunk style.
Yeah, there's a lot of red in that original trailer, if I remember. I'm very hyped for this. I feel like it may have some roguelike elements. I don't know if they necessarily said, but
I hope not.
It is.
And we got.
It is definitely going to be a twin stick shooter though, which is cool.
A game that a lot of journalists sort of kind of leaked that they heard that they're definitely going to be in the making. I said on the last show, on our prediction show, that this is probably not something that's going to be a thing because the original game came out in 2019, right? Yep. It came out multi-platform, PS4 and Xbox One, but now
and
that
PC.
Microsoft.
And PC, and also Switch
and Switch. Switch, it just came out on the Switch last year, and now that Microsoft owns them, we're getting the Outer Worlds 2. It's in development, and I thought it was funny. I thought the trailer was funny because they made fun of like companies always just putting out trailers and not gameplay.
Yeah,
and they sort of like we don't have any gameplay either. It's just a cinematic trailer.
The announcer's like, we're gonna show the back of the hero, right, in silhouette, because we don't know what he actually looks like yet, and lens flares, and then we're gonna fly through this valley. It was like everything. Yeah, I was honestly surprised that Outer Worlds 2, got some shine on the stage. I was a little surprised by that. Very excited. I thought they would sort of keep this under wraps, right? Maybe for next E3 or 2 years from now, right? But there were some games notably missing from the stage that makes sense on why they probably announced this, and we'll talk about that. Let me just finish up real quick. So we got Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? That's coming out July 27th. Yep.
They have a partnership with like Top Gun. I think Top Gun is in like the aircraft from Top Gun is probably.
There's a Top Gun Maverick crossover, right? You can fly in the fighter planes. Super cool.
Forza Horizon 5 was announced. I was super hyped for this. It looked so real. I didn't know if this was like in-game footage or like real life. Like that's how real it looked. They're set in Mexico. I just came back from Mexico. So
right?
funny enough.
Were you getting some vibes like I need to go back? I got to go back.
I was getting vibes. I was like, wow, that's really Mexico. They were in the Mexican desert. They had a lot of different cars that they showed off. I'm not gonna get into how many different cars they showed off, but different modes. Other people in the world, and I think they did that in Forza Horizon 4 as well.
All the like features they were showing off were just more polished versions of what they had in Horizon 4. Because you can do the team up thing and do the convoys and
how about mini games? Is mini games in Forza Horizon 4? Because here you could have mini games and partner with a team and do little mini games like go through, you're driving through certain checkpoints and stuff.
Yeah, they had a bunch of that stuff. The thing that was kind of cool was that you could create your own events, your own like special events, and you could technically do that in 4 as well. But this one was like. They had like bowling pins all around, and you could set up jump pads and all that. Like there was a lot of like.
Oh, when you go to the arena, you can the bowling pins.
Yeah. So that
looked awesome.
So that stuff is all new. That's like a new bit in 5. Plus whatever all new cars they're gonna have in there, and
they made it a point to say that they got sort of authentic realism of the town. And of the atmosphere of the trees of the ground.
Oh yeah,
right? The cactus. So they made it a point to say it's even more realistic than ever.
Right? Yeah, and they also got local artists to do a lot of the murals and whatnot.
Around. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then Phil Spencer said they had one more thing, and I was thinking Elder Scrolls. I was like, it's got to be Elder Scrolls. It has to be Wolfenstein 3. It has to be something.
Wolfenstein 3 maybe. Elder Scrolls is
something
not going to be ready for prime time for a couple of years.
Something, maybe another logo.
Yeah.
And they showed a new game by Arcane Studios. Again, now that they own them, probably going to be Xbox exclusive. Not mad at it. Oh yeah. And it's Redfall. It's called Redfall. It's coming in the summer of 2022. It's like a co-op shooter with vampires, and and you have superpower. You have superpowers too. Everyone has like a different power. I was very underwhelmed by that, and it seems since we first saw the press conference to now recording, I've actually watched other people's reactions, and other people definitely thought that was underwhelming as well. Like the general sentiment I've seen, at least online, on YouTube channels and on Twitter, and that people are a little underwhelmed by that.
The other thing too is that you had such a good press conference up until this point. So there was no filler.
The one more thing should be the big game, the big surprise. Regardless if you know about it or not, it should be the big surprise, the big game. You should. I would say my issue with the press conference is that some of the things were out of place. Where Halo should have started the press conference, because we all know Halo needs to be redeemed from last year's trailer, right?
Oh yeah.
So you start with that. Redfall, you can announce that in the middle of the press conference.
I would have ended with Starfield. Right.
And then you end with one more thing. Oh, yeah, we have this game called Starfield that's going to be Xbox exclusive. And that would have been a little bit more, pop in circumstance. That would have, everybody would have lost their mind over that one more thing. Right?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just happy that Microsoft is making good on their studio acquisitions. Because we haven't heard much from any of these studios, right? We got Bleeding Edge. Was the one game. We got Bleeding Edge, and nobody played it.
Well,
but now we're starting to see some stuff.
Notable games missing, right? Notable games missing. We don't have any. We don't have anything from Perfect Dark, right? We didn't have anything for Senua's Saga.
That was a little surprising. Yeah,
that wasn't there. Fable, that wasn't there. I didn't think Fable would be here because I think it's too early in development. But I figured Perfect Dark, which probably is too early in development as well. I thought Perfect Dark would have been here instead of the Outer Worlds, I thought we would have sort of like something from Perfect Dark to say, hey, listen, get hyped. The last game sucked, and it was like 15 years ago.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Like, I think hype for this new IP. We're trying to be like a new IP, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what they did last year. They had the great sizzle reel for it. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it just wasn't ready to show just yet.
It just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the X. Okay.
Like I have to say, Perfect Dark or not, there was a lot of killer in there. Like everything.
I think there was a little bit of filler. Not a lot of filler. It was a lot of meat on the bone.